అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. Today we are going to have a very good day that we are going to start a topic which is slightly different from our usual topiks, but it is part of Sanaatana Dharma. This is regarding Ayurveda by Dr. Kishore ji. We will introduce the speaker to all of you after Vande Mataram and Prarthana. I request Manisha ji to recite Vande Mataram and then Prarthana also. Manisha ji, please.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam, Sufalam, Malayajasitalam, Sasya Syamalam, Mataram, Vande Mataram, Shubhrajyotsna Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Drumadala Shobhini Suhasini Sumadhura Bhashini Sukhadam Varada Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram
Vande Mataram.
Everybody, we'll just do Om chanting for 3 times. Please close your eyes. Om Gananam Tva Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrunvannutibhi Sida Sadanam Om Shri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha Om Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinamavityavatu Om Shri Mahasaraswatyai Namaha Gurureva Gati Gurumeva Bhaje Gurunaiva Sahasmi Namo Gurave Na Guro Paramam Sishurasmi Guru Matirasti Gurau Mam Pahi Guru Jnananandamayam Devam Nirmalasphatiकाकृतिम् Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Kesavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kruto Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvyapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrutyorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Matrudevo bhava, Pitrudevo bhava, Acharya Devo bhava, Atidhi Devo bhava. Om Sahana bhavatu, Sahanau bhunaktu, Sahaviryam karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Astu.
ధన్యవాదములండి మనీషా గారు. ఉత్తమం. Okay, now let us introduce the speaker to all of you, CA Kishore garu. Lalita ji.
Yeah. Sarvebhyah namaskaraha. On behalf of Veda Samskruti Samiti and Vishwa Yoga Vidyapith, we give a warm welcome to Dr. CA Kishore garu. Yeah, to say about him is very less. The way he does things, it's a very honor and privilege to have him amidst us today. In spite of his so many busy schedules and also his requirements to attend to his father's healthcare needs, he has made time for all of us. That's why we should all thank him and acknowledge him again. Coming about our Dr. Kishore garu, he is famous who has for building a bridge. His life objective is to build a bridge between Ayurveda and the modern science. I can say he is very successful because he has almost taken his Kishore Sutra, it's a very good book, where each one can practice Ayurveda, and he has made it reach to all the parts. He is called as a Vaidya Ratna. He is a Vaidya Ratna, and he is also the president of India Ayurveda Foundation. He is the medical director and consultant of Ayurveda and an Ayurveda physician. Of course, he is an author and motivational speaker. You can find him in all the social media channels. If you go and put as CA Kishore, you'll find him on YouTube, you'll find him on Twitter, and you'll find him on all social media, Facebook, everywhere, wherever you want it. And he is also not only treating diseases, he is just practicing the preventive and curative Ayurveda, along with the multidimensional values of nutrition. That's his motto of life, I can say. And he's practicing unique combination of Ayurveda along with diet and nutrition for restoring or maintaining wellness. He has 18 years of experience in treating celebrities. I can say right from the Mysore Maharaja till the Chief Minister of Karnataka. Being a Kannadiga, I know how popular he is. And, he is applying modern technology. That is why people are very, very attracted to his way of telling things and the way he expresses, almost all have gone to Ayurveda. So we are also very happy to have him here because it's part of our Sanaatana Dharma, as Karnalji said. And also we all wish to practice the alternative therapies. He's been popularizing, encouraging, and he's promoting Ayurveda, and he's giving training to all the young graduates how to practice traditional Ayurveda. That is his expertise. And coming to his accolades, he has won so many awards, and he's the chairman of publicity committee of Karnataka Cancer Society, where we all have worked together also, I can say. And he's the president of Akhila Bharatiya Sahitya Parishad. He's a GC member of Karnataka Cancer Society. He's a life member of Karnataka Gamaka Kala Parishad. Okay, and he's a member of Family Planning Association of India and National Integrated Medical Association. He's been into almost all the government initiatives, I can say, the central government initiatives. And he's the co-founder and founder and CEO of many Shastri Swad Sannidhi. That is Shastri's Ayurveda. That's where he practices his daily Ayurvedic practices and sessions. So we all have him amidst us. It's all our pride and privilege to interact with him and know a lot more about Ayurveda. And he's a very open speaker. I again welcome him on behalf of all of us, for Sanaatana Dharma course, all of us. and also our Veda Samskruti Samiti and Vishwa Yoga Vidyapit. And on behalf of our Vice President, Veda Samskruti Samiti, and our course Administrative Director, Colonel Amarendra Babuji. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. We welcome you, sir.
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Sarvebhyo Namaha. It's a privilege, honor, and pride to spend and start day with beautiful people who are connected to the Dharma and who are upholding the traditional aspects of Indian culture. So, as the Shri Youth at the initial prologue said, today is a special class. I strongly and humbly say Ayurveda is an integral part of Sanaatana Dharma, so I am a part of your family. So, it is a Upaveda of Atharva Veda.
Kishore, one minute. I forgot to tell. He is the Vice President of Ayurveda section in Veda Samskruti Samiti. I forgot to tell that. I'm extremely sorry. And he is also familiar with 5 languages, starting from Sanskrit, Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi, English, all the languages. Yeah, I just forgot these 2 points. Sorry.
Yes, he is the Vice President of our Veda Samskruti Samiti. We welcome you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, we should all be very happy. Every day morning, we start the day in one or the other means. Some will start by praying, some will start having a cup of coffee, some will start jogging, some will continue to sleep even after the sunrise, and many things, many walks of life, many people will do on a daily basis, which we take it as a new normal now. There was a time when which the Shubhashita in Sanskrit would remind us by saying, Brahmi Muhurte Uttishte Jirna Jirne Nirupayan, which means to say, well before 48 minutes of sunrise, we have to get up, see that the bubbles are clear, see that the mind, body, and soul are being synchronized, for which we have to do some dharma, we have to do some dharma, we have to practice some rituals, we have to do some yoga. This is all integrated approach to see that one person was healthy for the rest part of his life. And lot many people will think, if we do puja, will God listen to that? If we do dhyana, will God come to know about that? What is the evidence that God will come to know if we chant prayers? Now, as a customary, even I also said, and many people will acknowledge and watch my words by saying, we greet each other by saying that Sarvebhyo Namaha, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha is what I said. Greeting gurus, greeting elders is a warm culture. Will the guru be happy with our wishes? On the other perspective, let me tell you, the guru is least bothered. The God is also least bothered. I will always, people will tell, today is a materialistic world. We need to be selfish. We need to be selfish. I have to take care of myself. I have to take care of my spouse. I have to take care of my children. I am earning so much. My name, fame, and money, everything is being confined to my family because I need to be elite and I need to be unique in this world. Okay, accepted. This is the fact. Why don't you keep yourself healthy? What is healthy? Is going to gym healthy? No. Again, resurrection of tradition, revisiting of traditional, revisiting of old life sciences. What is it going to teach us, and what is was being taught to us by such anecdotes by seniors? They used to get up, they used to take a cold water bath, even in the peak December, early January before the Sankranti festival. They used to take a sheer cold water bath. Sir, will I not get cold? Will I not get a sneezing? Will my asthma not trigger? Of course, conditions apply to everyone. Even during the muddy and the Mailge concept, what we say, certain chantings are not to be done. Certain things are not to be done by a woman. Certain things are not to be done by a man. Certain upavasa is being permitted not to do by a small child. Upavasam is not granted for a very old geriatric senior person. Upavasam is not granted, fasting is not granted to a pregnant woman. So there are exceptions, but fit and fine people, why they have to follow dharma? Because in the selfish perspective as well, they have to take care of their health. First thing is getting up in the morning at around 5:30. If you're not active, if you're not addictive, if you're not tried, I'm sure all the people in the Zoom meeting today would have tried because all of them are disciplined and they are dharmic in nature. This is a stimulation to people who are not into the fold of getting up early in the morning. Please stimulate them. It may be your spouse, it may be your children, it may be your parents, it may be your neighbors. Just give them a call at 5 o'clock in the morning and say good morning. Tell one Shubhashita, one meaning. 2 days they may curse you, 3 days they may curse you. Fourth day, once they come to know that whatever you say makes some sense, definitely their ears are open. And this is the way in which you steal their sleepful nights and see that they're active, they're healthy, they're vibrant, and they are contributive to the society. The more you are selfish, the more healthier you are and you have to be. The more healthier, the greater selfish you are, your family is healthy. The more selfish you are, resultant effect is your area is healthy. Thus, the relative bigger resultant effect is your whole prantyam is healthy. Conventionally, the state is healthy, so on and so forth, the country is healthy. So, taking up selfishness in this perspective, getting up early in the morning, eating less in the night, being more active, charging yourself, just check it out. See, many verses, I'm pretty sure. I want to emphasize more about the social aspects of traditional health because I strongly believe Ayurveda is not an alternative system of medicine, but Ayurveda is a native system of medicine. మన దేశీయ పద్ధతులు అని చెప్తాం. అంటే మనం ఎక్కడ పుట్టుతామో ఎక్కడ పెరుగుతామో ఆ పరిసరంలో ఏ విధమైన మన ఆహార చర్యలు ఋతుచర్యలు జీవన శైలిలు ఉంటాయో దాన్ని మనం పరిపాలిస్తూ వస్తుంటే దట్ ఈస్ ద రియల్ సోర్స్ ఆఫ్ వెరీ గుడ్ హెల్త్ టు వన్ ఇండివిజువల్ అట్ ఎనీ గివెన్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ టైం. మేము సామాన్యంగా 3వ క్లాసు వయసులో third year of our age, లేకపోతే maximum first or second year of our
excuse me, Kishore ji, all are in
Yes,
English.
ma'am.
Yeah, it's totally English.
Okay. So we always learn to see some chants have been done by small children, right? For example, Karagare Vaste Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati. This every child is being taught in our parampara, in our dharma, in the whole domain of India, and any Indian living in the world will teach their small child in the house about Karagare Vasite Lakshmi. Okay. We assume ourselves to be in those 3-year or second standard or third standard life of ours. Did we know the meaning of that? Did we ever know what is the sense of Karagare Vasite Lakshmi? No. We only knew my father used to tell, now I have to tell. My mother used to chant, I have to chant. This becomes a religious perspective to say slokas, Vedas, Subhashitas, mantras on a daily practice from the inception of our life. So, what is the resultant effect of learning all such things? Lot many people, when I try to reconnect tradition with technology, reconnect with the previous lifestyle with that of ours, lot many people have asked me, what is the use there? We have to learn English, we have to learn French, we have to learn Dutch. I'm not against you learning modernized things, reading Shakespeare, definitely not. Nahi gnanena sadrusham. We don't know from which source the knowledge enters our brain. So I'm all the more welcome to seek, gain knowledge from any source. But going back to the roots, if you forget our old tradition, there is no sense you having your fruitful and complete life at all. Kara agre vaste Lakshmi. You've learnt it at your 3rd year or 3rd standard of life, assume so. Where does your cash currency come when you start earning, when you become a doctor, when you become a software engineer, when you start earning? Probably with a basic degree of BA, BSc or medicine or engineering or IAS, whatever you study. Kara agre, here where you take your cash or currency or swipe your cards, put your passwords, right? So Kara agre vaste Lakshmi. Kara madhye Saraswati. Just imagine to write something. Just imagine to sign a check. Just remember signing an voucher to receive money. The Saraswati, what you know in the form of signature, Kara madhya is very important. Such beautiful thoughts the Dharma has taught us. Such excellent anecdotes Dharma has given us. This is what is Dharma. What is Dharma? Dharma is not we, extending our festivities to 100 people, giving saris, giving shirts, giving dhotis, giving blouse pieces. That is a part of exhibition. Real transmission of knowledge, real transmission of good things from within, real transmission of the culture, what was there then, and communicating the then knowledge to the generation next, and seeing what you do is right to yourself, what you are practicing today is right to the society, what you think is very much healthier, what you think is the same to be acted, what you act is same to be achieved. And in Sanskrit we say anusarane and anukarane. Okay, you have to follow, you have to mimic, you have to see that people will follow and mimic lot many things. Let me tell you, whenever we see elders, our sisters, our mothers, our spouses in the house will fall to the God, huh? The fall to the feet of elders. Why do we have to feel to the foot of elders? We see Lord Venkateshwara, we put 21 namaskarams. We see Ganesha, we put 108 namaskarams. I know in this Veda Samskruti Sabha, a lot of light is being put towards the Dharma, towards the Sanaatana, towards tradition and things like that. I want to give a medical touch. I want to give a healthier lepanam to this particular concept. Why the practices then is being valid and relatively relevant to the present day's healthcare scenario, and all the more to the mindset. Just if you fall to the God's feet for 21 times, your digestive level increases, your abdominal girth fat will come down. All the more your stress will come down. Your acid alkali imbalancement will come down. And your sleeping pattern will increase. Avakashena saha akashaha is what we have known. What is the limit of success? Sky is the limit of success. For you to start the whole day, you need some energy, right? Lot many people will drink alcohol because of peer pressure. Lot many people will drink coffee. Few will drink tea. Few will drink kashayam. Few will drink hot water. When you go to a temple, especially on a Dwadasi day, the whole day is of fasting, right? What will he give you? He will only give you the so-called liquid with little bit of pachkarpuram, little bit of tulsi. Okay, what is it? It is only some liquid which is being put on the god, and that the washed water of the god is to be consumed by us. Is that the logic? A person who has therapeutically, traditionally fasted on the Ekadasi, early morning, if he takes 1 spoon of this tulsi pachkarpuram water, the intestinal acid alkali imbalance will be stabilized. The whole day, when he starts eating food, no gastroduodenal reflex or the gastrointestinal problems shall occur. There are a lot of fastings. We have just crossed the Shravana Masam, we have crossed Bhadrapada Masam, there is Shivratri which is coming, there is Ekadasi periodically, there is Ganesha festival and Sankashtahara Chaturthi periodically. Every keep we have a fast. We have fast for Sankashtahara Chaturthi, we have a fast for Ekadasi, we have a fast on Shravana Shanivaram, we have a fast on Shivratri. Multiple days we do fast. Why do we fast? Is that God will come to know and he will bless us more? Yes, that was the belief which was being imbibed. And why such beliefs are to be accepted without questioning is for the reason it is for our good. It is absolutely for our good. The more you fast, the more cleansing shall happen. The more the physical cleansing will happen, simultaneously in a synchronized way, the emotional cleansing, the detoxification of the mind, body, soul, and spirit shall happen. Just imagine if you're with a lot of anger, krodha, kama, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, this Arishad Vargas we know. If you are totally into this, involved into this Arishad Vargas, we want everything on this world. The neighbor buys an Innova car, we should also buy. Neighbor buys a beautiful jewelry. Even our own women in this house fight for that to be purchased. Neighbor has a very beautiful big cake for birthday. Our child also wants that. Neighbor has an excellent wall hanging, which is very pretty and very expensive. We should also have. Today, neighbor will have footwear to the kitchen. We should also have, because it is so-called modernization. I call it as a pseudo-modernization, but it's a different issue. But this is the way in which we are trying to modernize ourselves. Why don't we modernize in the perspective where Japan works all the more 2 hours extra on any holiday without taking an extra payment for the betterment of the country and donate that extra money to the nation development? Why don't we see America, which is good in America, to see that they are accommodative to all people, they drain the brains of all other countries' people and see that their own country is developed? Why don't you see any Mughal country wherein which their dharma is not at all been left unattended? Due importance diligently is being given to their dharmas, and their dharma has been uplifted. Whether they are coming up in life or not, that's a different issue, but they see that the dharma don't die. Whereas we Indians, we think ourselves to be hyper liberal. We keep dharma aside, we keep culture aside, we keep parents aside, we keep ourselves aside, we isolate the mind, body, soul, and spirit, the different perspectives, and we see that the body is for luxuries, the body is for happiness, the body is for all the enjoyable things in the world. The mind, of course, has to be relaxed. So, what is to be done? To go to a very good mall, eat well, for a 50 rupees popcorn, spend 500 rupees, eat a very junk, so-called vegetarians. Of course, the junk is there in the non-vegetarian segment also, which is absolutely unhealthy. I watch for that. We eat pastries, pizzas, French fries, lot of tikkies, I mean, in the city of Bangalore, I hail from the city of Bangalore. I'm pretty sure the same is in all the metropolitan cities and all the micro levels of tier 2 and tier 3 cities in the country. Saturday and Sundays, all the mid level and high level economically stabilized families, if you just stay them on the weekends, they're almost on the streets. Eating street food is a pride, it's a passion, it's a privilege to a lot many people by saying that they have consumed street food. There was something called as Madi, Achara, and Vichara in the Sanatana Dharma. We became hyper intelligent. We are hyper qualified with 4, 5, 6 degrees. We are all abroad returned with qualifications and multiple jobs. We work to the sunrise of some other country. We sleep at the sunset of some other country. We are making destitutes to all our family members and not being attended to the due attention. What is being given to them is being considerably less. We admit our children to high-end schools. We attribute paying 4, 5 lakhs a year to the child. He is going to give a lot of very good education, might give a good education, but we are absolutely seeing that the child is not being getting culture. Again, coming back to my prologue of the topic, if the woman gets up in the morning, and giving an example, I have an example for all age groups, of all people, for all seasons and for all reasons. A woman mid around 30 years gets up in the morning, example to say, takes a cold shower at around 5:30. What is going to happen? The body is going to be stimulated, the body is going to be active, the brain cells are being hyper stimulated, the eye vision is excellently good, atmosphere is beautiful, unpolluted air is there at that given point of time. Post bath, she is going to sit in front of the God for 10-15 minutes. She is going to chant something. By chanting something, what is going to happen? You say anything, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Is it going to fetch you anything for the life but for learning that? I'm not against science. I'm not against any rhythms. I'm not against any short rhymes. But what is all the more important is, if you are into Sanaatana Dharma, if you are listening lot many things, if you are chanting, if you are understanding these things with meaning, as I told you about Karagare Vaste Lakshmi, if you can make the child understand with the meaning, lifetime the baby will know the value of Lakshmi, that is money. Lifetime the baby will know the value of Saraswati, that is knowledge. And the moment you are in the puja room, you try to go out to the garden to pluck tulsi. Beautiful air is being absorbed by you. The lung inflation is excellent. The bowel movement the next day, because you've got up early in the morning, your work for the whole day is amazing. You sit in front of the God, there is a mild relaxation to the body, all the more relaxation to the mind. Prasanna Atma Indriya Manaha is what we say. So the tranquility of Tatma, Atma and Manasu is being achieved in front of the beautiful God whom we respect, whom we adore, whom we accept as a deity, and we sit in front of him and we start listening. It's not that he will listen. It's certainly not that he will listen. You are doing all the prayers for yourself. You are doing all the prayers to cleanse your soul. You are doing all the prayers to see that you are more healthier physically and mentally. You are doing prayers to improve the culture of your own family members. So if you are a swarthi, if you are a selfish person, I will definitely prompt you to be all the more selfish so that your own family will be more dharmic, rather more Indic, rather more mythologic, rather more historic, rather more peaceful, rather more blissful. This is the perspective in which a dharma has to be seen completely, or else there is no life at all in the future for all of us to live in. Today, we all know everyone going out of the house is always beautifully well dressed. They are into softwares, they are software professionals, they are into driving, they have to drive vehicles, they have to see that they have to be attractive, they have to gain attention from all people from all walks of life in the society and things like that. You know one hidden fact? Most of the times, as a clinician, as a student of psychiatry, as a student of psychology, as a student of behavioral sciences, what I have understood in my 23 years of clinical practice, being into traditional Ayurveda and counseling and different parameters and walks of my professional life, a person who is stressed, who is depressed, is all the more well dressed. If you see any high funda person, a guy or a lady in the market speaking more than what is been required, being hyperactive, doing all the body postures, which is not being required, which is more exuberant than what is been relatively required, then something is wrong with the approach, something is wrong with the mindset that has to be attended to. The depression levels are so high. Today, a 10th standard girl is all the more feeling that the syllabus is too high to her. A medical graduate, forget about medicine. A BA, BSc, BCom, commerce graduate, science graduate, and arts graduate is always thinking that his syllabus is all the more high. A girl 15, 20 years back was bound to cook the moment she was 15 years to whole family members. Today, cooking is a burden. We are in an acceptable scenario wherein which the pizza comes to our home more faster than an ambulance. We always feel enjoying festivities, doing celebrations, and celebrating birthdays is by giving cakes, giving pastries, giving chocolates. Do you know how much unhealthy it is? Do you ever have experienced? I'm pretty sure all of you would watch for me and acknowledge my words in this regard by saying that diabetes, once a grandpa's disease, today is a grandchild's disease. Heart problem, 10, 15 years back, grandson would take the grandfather to a cardiology department. Today, the grandfather is healthy. Grandfather is getting the grandson or his son to the cardiology department because the son is unhealthy. Thanks to the pizza, thanks to kebabs, thanks to restaurant eating, thanks to Chinese salt, thanks to 2 minutes noodles, which is going to create 20 years of discomfort to you. Thanks to all the foods which is giving 4 seconds of comfort. We see the TV, we scroll the Facebooks, we scroll WhatsApps, we turn on the pages of newspapers. The food is so lucrative, so absorptive, so mind suckling. The moment you see the ads, we would have to go and eat that pizza. That burger today is my plate. That is the thing that I have to invest. What is the cost of a popcorn in a mall? Roughly around 400 to 500 rupees. And we say all our earnings is being less, that it is being drained out because of our social living. Who the bloody hell will tell you to have such a life of social living? For the sake of 4 seconds of happiness, you are ready to compromise 40 years of your life. Is that the way that you're going to upbring children? Is that the way? I want to see that deceased child of mine is being contributed to the society. Is that the way that I live? All my earnings being spent, what all I have earned in the first 30 to 40 years, which is a golden period of human being earnings, utility of his intellect, mind is being totally involved in grasping knowledge, earning money, stabilizing himself, saturating the family. He's being given to the hospitals. He's been spent on the doctor's bill. And after 40 at one shot, and he will be bankrupt and he's going to die 60. When it comes to diabetes, there was an era when we were students, they used to say, if someone was diabetic, the first question my professor would ask them was, is he a lethargic man? The answer would be yes, sir. Is he a very rich man? The answer would be yes, sir. Is he not working? Is he dependent on the interest what he gives as loan to others and sitting and eating all times? The answer is yes, sir. Is that person sleeps the whole day, even in the mornings? The answer was yes, sir. Is that patient very obese, very hyper in his thought process and very lethargic in his body activities? The answer would be yes, sir. And the acceptance of diabetes was post 60, post 70. Today, what is the acceptance level of diabetes? Today, there is Modi diabetes, not Narendra Modi. Fortunately, he is not, he should not be. Modi diabetes is maturity onset of diabetes in young. Maturity onset of diabetes in young is making the very young generation vulnerable for diabetes mellitus. There is gestational diabetes. Usually, by and large, post delivery, the mother will get rid of the diabetes. But in many conditions, the baby is not allowing the mother to be getting rid of diabetes because the baby's health style is also not good. It is giving a lot of stress at the infancy level. The mother is being exposed to a lot of hyper social life, when which she forgets to start cooking. The problem starts there. We try to rear the baby. We don't upbring the baby. If we upbring the baby in giving good ahara, good samskara, good samskruti, definitely the baby will be healthy and the generation next to come shall also be healthy. But what we try to do is, the baby is crying, we give a chocolate, which is unhealthy. Further, the baby cries, we give the mobile phone, see that the baby is engaged with the mobile phones. There's a lot of retinal damage at a very young age. And the phonation itself is not being learned. Forget about the traditional Sanskrit, which is, of course, the most simplest language. The more you learn Sanskrit, the more retention, the more recognition, the more reproduction in the mind, in the brain will happen. The more you learn Sanskrit, the phonation will improve. The more you learn Sanskrit, your behavior approach will be soft and sober. The more you learn Sanskrit, your tongue twisters are very easy. The more you learn Sanskrit, you are openable to learn many other languages. The more you know to read, write Sanskrit, you are opening up yourself to accept n number of languages very easily. And the biggest secret, I know most of you would have known this, but still to share with you, NASA has accepted Sanskrit as one of the best languages to feed the high-level data into the computers, which can stay for centuries rather than any other conventional languages. NASA is all the more happy with Sanskrit. Unfortunately, we Indians take Sanskrit for a ride. We always see that it is a Purohita Shahi Bhasha. We always say it is a Bhasha only connected to the God. Again, I repeat, God is not benefited by all the activities. He is only an Nimitta Matram. Why do we say God? Why do we say God? We say God for the reason that we use him as a tool. We do say it in the house. If you steal a groundnut in the kitchen, God is seeing. If you don't fast, God will curse you. If you wear footwear in the house, God will curse you. God will not do us good. Why does God fearing is there? You are all into the social life, right? Just give me two examples. He may believe any God. He may believe any God at any form, in any incarnation. I am not at all into that. I am into people believing God for the reason. You see, compare two big administrative officers at a government level. Two officers. One God-fearing person, the other one who is a Nastika, who is not God-fearing, who is free to do whatever he wishes to do. Just go on studying their behavioral pattern, see their track record, see their history, see their behavior, and compare yourself. And please do get back to me. If you are having an answer now, post my talk. You are open to give me your feedback. You may disagree. but I will agree to disagree. All the more open for discussion. A person who is God-fearing, by and large, he is in the righteous path. He is always in the righteous path. But the decisions what he does, the earnings what he do will be ethical. The talk what he does will be with lot of morals. A person who is not God-fearing will always be, by and large, illegal. That is the power of God. The person who is not believing in God is by and large corrupt. That is the power of God. The unknown entity is made known to people. The avyakta avastha of a superhuman being, superhuman power, some supreme power which is not being seen. That is God. What is Prakriti? What is Vastava? Hyderabad is Prakriti. For example, to say, the people living in Hyderabad doing good things is Vastava. It's as simple as that. God giving you birth, giving you 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 1 mouth, 2 ears, 1 beautiful body, which is very good looking, which is going on aging as the days pass, as the calendars move on. We will touch 100 years, we will die. All the things is Prakriti. What is Visheshata in that Prakriti? You living a life worth for you, at least for you. If you are truly worth for yourself, you are definitely worth for others. If you are not worth for yourself at all, you are not worth for others. Did Shankaracharya say that everything has to be followed to whatever I say? Did he ever say that you please mimic me? He lived a life what he wanted. Please create one more Shankaracharya today. There is Raghavendra Swami who did lot of things to the society then. Please create one more Pavada Purusha like Raghavendra Swami. Why? Crores and crores of people for centuries are attending Tirupati Tirumala Devasthanams. Why do they go? I have seen people going on a weekly basis from Bangalore by spending thousands and thousands of money. People will make mockery out of them by saying every Tirupati visit from Bangalore in a car will make them spend 15 to 20,000 rupees. The whole day is been gone. There is a lot of rush. There is a huge queue for prasadams and things like that. Why the temple prasadam is all about tastier? Why? Why don't you get the same taste in the house? By spending hundreds and lakhs of rupees, why don't you get the same taste in any 5-star restaurant? Can anyone explain me in this, please? Why today, lot many times we don't predict earthquakes? Why? Most of the times we did not predict the tsunami, though the technology was that much stronger. Why? Today, we are doing n number of things in the name of science. We are successful when it has been attached to the tradition, attached to the Dharma, attached to the Daivatva. Why did the ISRO scientists go to temple before launching the rocket? Do you think they are all having no sense and they only believe in going to God will see that the rocket will reach Chandra? Because something is powerful, what is not being seen by us, that is called as the Avyakta Rupa. If you give more importance, more emphasis, more attention, and more faith in that Avyakta Rupa, the Vyakta Rupa is more appreciated by us. There is a lot of beneficiaries with the Vyakta Rupa if you see an Avyakta Rupa. One more anecdote to share with you in this regard is, in all the houses, you would have your great-grandfather's photo, his father's photo. In all the auspicious occasions, in the Pitru Paksha, you would have been remembering all the generations. What is the need of believing all these generations? What is the use of incarnating all such people? Why should you respect them? First thing is, you should remember who your forefathers are. You should know the difficult path which is being walked by them, to see that however beautiful, however good, however stable, however rich you are today is because of the Bhiksha what is being given by our forefathers. Why you have to do it in the house, not alone, sitting in one room? Because transmission of Dharma, transmissions of rituals, transmission for the traditional knowledge has to go to the generation next. Yourself should do exhibitantly by calling 100 people, because your son, your daughter-in-law, your grandson, your great-grandson should follow the tradition. Tomorrow, what good you have done has to be remembered by them, and that goodness has to be continued. Or else, you will also have the same concept wherein which you become an invalid photograph. And the 13th day, the photograph of mine and yours will also be thrown out, and there is no value at all. I was telling you, what is Avakasha? Avakasha is a possibility, is a probability to do good things. Avakashena saha akasha. Sky is the limit to do good things. Practicing dharma, practicing chants, saying many mantras in the mornings. See the vibration in such people. A person who is very dharmic, who is very Vedic, who is very Indic, just stare to his eyes. I'm pretty sure you can't even stare his eyes for more than 60 seconds. That's a 1 minute, because the radiant effect what he has in the eyes, the communicative skill what he has in the eyes. Have you seen Tirupati Venkatamana Swami statue for more than 2 minutes? Please go and see. The moment you are in front of the God, we close the eyes, because the statue is that powerful. The carving is that powerful. If you say there is life in God, yes, there is life in God. You say it is not a God, it is only a Murti. You can never find such a beautiful, powerful, magnificently incarnated Murti in the whole of the world, because the attraction level in that Murti is that high. And what is all the more near to you, what is all the more powerful to you, can't be experienced, can't be enjoyed completely. That's the most of the times, that's the reason. When you go very close to the God, you start praying closing the eyes. You hardly have 1 or 2 seconds to see the God. We see the God from a very long distance. The moment you come closer to the God, we close the eyes and someone will push us and we go ahead and come out of the temple, and we are filled with emotion, right? A person who doesn't believe in God also, if you go to some temples, spend some time. The aura what the temple gives you, the temple, the food what the temple gives you, the cleanliness as of today, thanks to the Swachh Bharat. But usually, by and large, the inside shrine of the temples are always would be clean and shall continue to remain clean. The concept of badi, achara and vichara, which is all the more important that I have to specify on. There are some people who will make mockery out of us. In this Hindu Dharma, what is this madi, acharam, vicharam and all? They don't touch. They don't allow you to touch. They think that they are supernatural. They are all Purohita Shahis. What is this Purohita Shahi? This is one of the common words what I have been listening to for decades, by targeting one community, one dharma, by saying that they call themselves to be unique. They have called themselves to be secluded. They have called themselves to be superior. The answer is very simple. Who has stopped us in attaining such place? The same so for Sanskrit. People say it is been attached to one particular community. It is been attached to one particular caste. It is being attached to one particular lingam, that is, Pullingam is more dominant for chanting of Sanskrit mantras. There are Sanskrit universities, there are Sanskrit colleges. You are making them closed because of lack of admissions. It is open by the government for all segments and all sects of people and all dharmic people, and non-Hindus can also go and learn. And it is a language by itself. The more you learn, you will come to know how powerful it is. Without knowing what it is, how can you comment on that? Coming back to the madi, coming back to the sacredness, coming back to the achara, vicharam. As a doctor, you have been visited many new child infancy births. You have visited in the hospitals to greet the mother, see the child, express your happiness, welcoming the child to the society. Lot many rituals you do, right? Do the hospital people, the moment you enter into the ward, allow you to touch the baby? The answer is straight no. As a doctor, I will not in my hospital. We will always advise the patients to wash their hand with soap, put a gown, change the footwear, wear a medicated sterile socks, then come inside the isolated room, which is again humidified, sterilized and things like that. Make the recipient sit on the chair in a very comfortable position, and see that the chair bears the weight of the person who is sitting. Then the baby is given for 3 minutes, covered baby, then taken back. The same thing was being told in the Dharma as well. In the Vedic Shastras, that was being told in the name of Shuchitva. They would call it as madi. They would say Don't touch the baby in the bare hands. To touch the baby, you should take a bath. You should have a clean, washed, dried, sun-dried clothes on a as an attire for you to touch the baby. The hands have to be washed. The foot has to be washed. Some chanting has to be. Why the chanting has to be done in front of the baby? In Namakaranam, we say a lot of slokas, right? Will the baby know the meaning of that? No. Did you know what was sweet when you started eating payasam? You only knew that it was very sweet in taste, but you never knew it was payasam. You never knew that it was kaju katli. You never know that it was a basundi. You never know that it was a jalebi, it was a jangir, it was somehow doodh peda and things like that. You started differentiating, you started appreciating, you started accepting, you started welcoming, you started learning because you started eating. Had you not started eating, you would not have practiced the art of making sweets, lot of delicacies, lot of variants and things like that. The Dharma is also so. The Indology is also so. The Veda is also so. The mantras are also so. You start practicing without knowing what it is. Then try to know what it is. The moment you have learned what it is, try to transmit the same. This is the biggest contribution what we can do to our own self. I'm not talking about the improvement of society. We are not Mother Teresa's or Abdul Kalam's to see that the whole society will be beautiful and healthy just because of us. If you are beautiful from within, if you are healthy from within, if you are, there is a lot of importance being given to grammar, but all the more importance is being given to glamour. What is all the more important in life? Is it glamour, which is a short-lived thing, or grammar, which is the roots, which is going to give us a long-term benefit? That is to be seen. What does Ayurveda say? Samadosha samagnischa, samadhatu malakriyaha, prasanna atma indriya manaha, swastha ityavidya. The prasannata of atma, indriya, manas, such a beautiful thought. The then Ayurveda, which is relevant to today's lifestyle also. Isn't it? The tranquility of body, mind, and soul. Great lady in the inception at the starting of the program was saying, Vande Matram. In the Dharma, we say, Matrubhumi. Some people who don't have value for the native land as to where they have born, they always say it is Bhumi Matram. The eliteness, the demarcated difference between this is Bhumi Matram and this is Matrubhumi. That is the demarcated difference of living a worthy life in this world. Isn't it? You should live the life that you should acknowledge. You should be happy. You should be contented. This is what the elders in the family would do. They would do all the dharmic practices exhibitantly. They would make know 100 people around the community that they are making this acharan every day. Today is Upakarma, and I'm going to change my sacred thread, was being let known to 100 people. One Satnarayana Puja in the family would be let known to 500 people. One marriage would be let known to the whole city to make know that that ritual is being followed by them. That was the social evidence which was being created amongst the society that such a beautiful event has been happening. That's the reason why they say in English, remember the day you were born, you were crying and people around you were laughing. Try to lead a life such that when you go laughing, people around you shall cry. Today, we are seeing deaths of all faculties in different walks of life. Whenever a person dies, there is no emotional connect at all. We cry for a hero, we cry for a heroine, we cry for a cricketer if he loses the battle, if he loses the cinema. We don't cry for a friend who has been supportive to us. We don't cry for a relative who has cared for us, who has brought us in the whole part of our life. We have to be indebted to his support. We don't even look for him. Such minute things is being done by us, which is not at all of any significance, but rampantly being practiced. That is what is all the more important. There is no physical activity today. Ayamo vividhanganam vyayama iti prakirtitah. Such a beautiful anecdote. Make the micro, minute points of the body on a daily basis. That is the real Gayama. Today we go to gym, we go to aerobics, we are into power yoga, we are into meditation classes. Where was this 20 years before? Where was this 3 decades before? Were the people not meditating? Were the people not fit and fine? I was telling you about a 30-year-old woman as an example. She used to get up in the morning with a cold water bath. Later on, I stopped at she performing puja in the puja room for next 15 minutes. She used to lift water from the bore wells, open wells, 30, 40, 50 feet. Her whole spine would be healthy. She would cook for 15 to 20 people early in the morning. There was no restaurants. Going to restaurants was a sin. Going to restaurants was only for people who have left their homes, who have been distorted, for being working in other cities for the sake of living, who had no family or kitchen support. Only such people would go to restaurants. That was the practice. Later on, it started to all upgraded, so-called elite, so-called educated, so-called privileged, so-called rich, so-called modernized, so-called ultra segmented people to go to restaurants for happy day, wedding anniversaries, happy birthdays, and things like that. As I was telling you, today we are saying going to restaurants has become a peer pressure. Smoking has become a peer pressure. Consumption of alcohol become a peer pressure. Eating of tobaccos, chewing of tobaccos has become a peer pressure. Women smoking has exorbitantly increased. Biggest reason for female infertility. Today's woman is not feeding the breast milk to the child. Biggest problem to the mother, not to the baby. The baby will be undernourished. The baby will live. The baby will somehow lead its life by eating ferrex and all other conventional ready-made mixes in the world, and somehow it will survive because the money is there to make the baby survive. But money cannot make the mother healthy. There is 27 times more, 27 times more increase in the breast cancer levels to the mother because of the only reason the mother is hyper modernized, rather pseudo modernized, not feeding the baby, not at all feeding the baby because of cosmic importance of losing the shape and size of the breast, because the time importance that she has to earn. She is a very big CEO in a very corporate sector. She has to spend more time in the office, and no caring and sharing of love is being done by the mother to the baby. Huge money is being given to a maid servant, and the baby is being taken care of by the maid servant. And we spend money, and the maid servant has to share love and care for the sake of money, which she will not do in total. And we are thus creating an unhealthy baby, a diseased mother, an unhealthy society. We are talking about communicable diseases. We are not at all talking about community diseases which has been induced by us. Today, hypertension has been induced by our own cells. Stress has been induced by our own cells. Arthritis is being induced by our own cells. Today, we don't eat what we have to eat. We eat what should not be eaten. We talk about right to information. You scroll on YouTube's, there is a lot of abuse, overuse, and misuse of information rather than it being used. And unfortunately, what is the information that you have to get is not being got. What information you should not get to the age, to the gut is being informed to you. It is hyper informed to you. You start using that. A pizza made out of maida, 2.5-year-old baby used to consume pizza because the parents were very rich. The maid servant used to, small anecdote to share with you. The maid servant used to order pizzas through online. The baby would get pizza every day, roughly around 300 to 350 rupees worth pizza. See the economic variations and the investment of money for an unknown, unhealthy reasons. The baby consumed pizza for 1.5 years, that is 2.5 years plus 1.5, the 4 year. The gut was rotten. The colon had a spasticity because the processed flour, that is maida, was not being absorbed. 4 years, the baby could not squat. That is, the bowel evacuation, the bowel movements was altered. It was being ignored because both the parents were all the more busy in their office and the maid servant would take care of the child. Later on, it turned into a spasticity, and surgery was being done. The colon was being hampered, altered, treated, cut. Lot many things happened. Today, we have produced an unhealthy child to the community, and we always say, "I tried my best because I did not eat pizza in my third year of life. I should not see that my child is not getting that. He should not be deprived of the eating liberty." So God has given us money. So let us give junk. Let us give all the unhealthy, unwanted things to the generation next. And just because God has given us unwanted money, we will give unwanted negative health to the child as well. Should not be the perspective of one's thinking. Before concluding, Veda, Dharma, Indology, Ayurveda, they're all integrative, integrated, intrinsic, attached parts of one own entity. Of one own entity. You can't just have Ayurveda and forget Vedas. You can't just have Vedas and see that I will not have a healthy lifestyle, so Ayurveda is not needed to us. We just have Ayurveda, Veda. We don't have Sanaatana in these attached to. It makes no sense. We have all these three things, but for patriotism makes no completion at all. And having such a beautiful knowledge, not communicating to others, not getting involved into the activities of social life, and not saying that others will come to the fold of Sanatana Dharma makes no sense of the life living worthily. Thus, in this connection, I express my heartful gratitude and pranams to the Veda Vijnana Samiti for doing a vulnerable, great, exorbitant job for a very long periodic time in taking the culture forward, in keeping the roots very tight, in seeing the new souls are being incorporated, and I will humbly express my services to be offered to this great community of people at any given point of time to whatever the best I can, if at all, if I could fit into the brackets of your thoughts, to see that the new generation, new segment of people are being attracted. We have seen Sundays in the name of prayers, how new people are getting converted. We have seen many Fridays how new people are being spoken to and they are getting converted. We have got 365 days, 24 years, 5,000 years of history. 5,000 years of history. That is the only reason, with lot of different rulers, different innovations, different kind of governance what we had in this Indic history, the Sanatana Dharma stands unshaken. It will remain to stand unshaken for the reason every one of us are Rayabharis, Arthat, Parantu. We are all ambassadors of Dharma. Every micro, minute thing that we all do to the conservation of Dharma, we'll see that we are conserved, we are protected, our family is protected, and if at all selfishness is our motto, you take care of the Dharma in the selfish motive, and the Dharma will take care of you. That is what is being told. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshitah. Jayatu Bharatam, Vande Mataram. Namaskaram. Any queries, any advices, any questions, or any suggestions, or any criticisms, or any feedbacks, the whole group is all the more welcome to please guide me and take things forward. Thank you very much for all the gurus, all the moderators for giving me many more opportunities to come, but still who have given me a lot of opportunities to express my thoughts and spend the beautiful day today with most valuable people in my life, that is you. I might not speak to you on a daily basis, but the VSS people, the participants, the elite persons inside the group have a very special place for me in my soul. I'm deeply indebted to the love and gratitude that they have expressed towards me without even me seeing them and they seeing me. I'm really grateful to them, and I support all the activities that they do. Tanu, Mana, Dhana of mine is there from my end to whatever little I can for the support of Dharma. And anything that they have to do it in Bangalore or Karnataka, I would warmly welcome them. Lalita ji is already here. She knows how potential Bangalore is and how weak Bangalore is going to be in the conservation of Dharma. So anything here, we are all the more open. Anything at the global level, anything pan India, anything, anytime, I'm always with you. Saying all these things, I offer my humble pranams to each and everyone and wish you an aspirant, excellent, healthier, good day to one and all.
ధన్యవాదములండి.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Now we will have some question answers from the students, interaction with the students. Bapaji, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, sir. Tell me, sir.
My point is that you are discussing when I am hearing your all entire session, you are just correlating Dharma, Ayurveda, Sanskrit, entire thing, even if possible in a selfish manner. But now question is that as on date, in the world scenario, there is an extreme economic recession. Under this situation, everybody is struggling to live their life and getting so many and becoming victims of so many diseases which is beyond their control. And not only that, there is a plan of reducing the cost of labor. Under this situation, how Ayurveda and Dharma will help them get rid of such kind of disease like diabetes, like pressure, which has become the essential part of our life, because during Corona, so many persons have lost their job who are drawing salary 1 lakh. Now they are getting maximum 40,000 because of the job crisis. So under this situation, how it will act? Because those who are affordable, they can do so many things. But those who cannot afford, those who have to struggle throughout the day for their life, how they will correlate all these things? Please.
I got the question. I would expect the questions to be short and crisp so that I'll have some time to understand the same and answer to you. One thing at the initial level is, yes, I definitely stand for Veda, Ayurveda, Indology and Dharma all put together is successful mantra for life. That is my opinion and stake as of now, and that shall continue to be the same in the future as well. This is point number one. Point number two is, health is always free, sir. Disease is expensive. So, swasthasya swasthya rakshanam aturasya vikara prashamanam is what we say. So, as you said, Mahodaya, what you say is the voice of crores of people. They always say healthcare is very expensive, healthcare is very expensive. Virtually, healthcare is not expensive. Healthcare is the cheapest, rather the freest, most thing that you can get. Once you enter in the fold of disease, you mentioned me about stress, you mentioned me about diabetes. When you just see the lifestyle of the previous people who have lived on this earth, I think we can take our forefathers or grandfather, for example, because I am 40 plus. I will take the example of my grandfather who is around 90 plus now. He never did make money. He had 11 children. He saw that he was healthy. He was successful in upbringing 11 offsprings of his. He got every one of them qualified. He got every one of them the thought of how to live. He did not get any job by influence. He made them qualified, so they got qualified and they got enthusiastic to live. They got contributive to the society. They got their own jobs. They learned their own life, and there was no bigger motives in life. Today, in the metropolitan cities, we have higher altitudes of living. We have to live in a huge apartment. We don't want to live in a 20-30 house because it is not up to our standards. We should have a maid servant. We have to pay to her because it is of a peer pressure. Weekends, we have to go to bars, clubs, pubs, restaurants, malls, cinemas, and PVRs and things like that because that is our social status. We don't want to see a movie in a mobile. We cannot afford a 1 lakh Apple mobile, but still we want to buy that on an EMI basis because having a 15,000 rupees phone, we'll see that our social status will come down. We should have an excellent brand new car. We cannot compromise for a second-hand Maruti 800 car because people will laugh at us. All these things are happening because, as you said, it is not your question. I'm pretty sure it is a question of millions of people who ask me on a daily basis because I represent media in Karnataka. Not many people, why this is so happening is for the reason their anticipation and expectations from the society is much more than what they are. If the earning is 40,000 rupees, If his expense is 20,000 rupees, definitely the pressure inside him will not be there. If his earning is 40,000 rupees, his expenditure is 60,000 rupees, and he's planning for 20 years of his salary, and relatively EMI has to be paid. Then all such diabetes to hypertension to arthritis to psoriasis to migraine to vascular headaches to stress to depression to sleeplessness will definitely come in. This biggest advice is health is always free. Please enjoy. Think better, eat healthy. Even today, sprouts is cheaper, sir. You need not go for a 6 or 7 rupees egg to have proteins. 3 rupees of horse gram a day will give you a higher amount of protein than what an egg will give. You can always go for a very beautiful therapeutic recipe of modakam rather than going for a very good pudding or a porridge, or a pastry by spending 80 to 90 rupees per piece. A porridge, pudding, a modakam is much more cheaper. By spending 90 rupees, you can definitely serve 10 people with one piece rather than having a 90 rupees for a single pastry. When comparatively such things are being evaluated, life is still simple, life is still beautiful, and I know all of us are doing that, but we fail to practice. Once we start practicing, if the demarcated difference between the need and greed is being well defined, I think life shall definitely be beautiful, sir.
Yeah, Babu Garu,
Okay.
there are a few questions in the chat box. I'll read out.
Please.
First is just now I saw you are drinking water from a copper vessel. Can you please explain how good it is consuming water from copper vessel?
Yeah, this is not just for me to show. I consume the water in the copper vessel for the past 35 years. I eat in a silver plate. It is not to show richness. It is only to see that the trace metals are being absorbed in the body on a regular level to see that the immunomodulatory levels are very good. In Sanskrit, we say, Nacha sarvani sharirani vyadikshamatvam samarthani bhavanti. Vyadikshamatvam nama vyadibala virodhikatvam vyadi utpadaka pratibandhakatvam iti cha anye. That is what the Sanskrit word says. So, by consuming water in the copper vessel, the copper charged ions will enter the body, thus the immunity will increase, the acceptability of all other vital things that you consume the whole day all along shall be absorbed pretty well. The best way is you are not entering the fold of carcinoma, that is cancer, by taking water in copper vessels and eating in a silver plate. Your immunity will definitely increase. So personally, I do follow and I advise my patients, and I don't call them as patients, I call them as arogya sadhakas. In my clinic right here, I always advise them to have copper because the acid alkali imbalance will be correct. The macroorganisms can be dealt by killing the same efficiently in a copper vessel. The taste of the vessel, the water inside the vessel is always stabilized. Point number 4, it is Sheetakale cha Ushnalam, Ushnakale cha Sheetalam. So it is comparatively cold in a hot summer season, comparatively warm than the room temperature in a prime winter season. Compared to all such things, compared to the present day's cancer and things like that, copper is what has to be used. The only thing is a maintenance issue. Simple tamarind liquid be used along with the ash. I use ash powder and tamarind liquid to clean the vessels once in 2 days in a very rigorous way. This is what I do, and I also use silver plates for eating. I don't spend monies either for myself or my spouse or my offsprings on any restaurants or cake cuttings for birthdays. So the happiness, what has to be exhibited to me, to the family, that is being converted into the form of a silver plate. Today, proudly have a huge silver plate to all my family members, and eating in a silver plate is a responsibility, not a prestige issue.
Okay, sir, thank you. And there is one more question. I just want to know how a diabetic can observe fasting on a festive day.
Diabetic person can definitely do fasting, provided to what domain of diabetes is he into is a matter of question that we have to focus upon. The sugar is well under control, the HbA1c is less than 6.5, the fasting and ppbs levels are roughly around 120 to 180 range. he can definitely do fasting. Absolutely, there is no harm and there is no downfall of sugar. If he is hypoglycemic, means the moment he stops the oral medication, the sugar will fall to 60, 70. He should not fast. The person who is hyperglycemic, suppose the blood sugar is around 300 and 400, he should also not have a feast. So fasting and feasting both are contraindicated for an established diabetic. So they should have periodically smaller quantum of food. That's the reason why I told you there is an exception for every rule. When it comes to fasting, a small child, a very old senior person, a diabetic person, a hypertensive person, a stress-induced person, a pregnant lady, a Bananti or a postpartum newly delivered mother, these 7 to 8 segments of people are being accepted from fasting. So, in the name of dharmic fasting, yes, you can always have poha, that is avalakki, that you can have. You can have a little bit of fruits that can compensate the energy levels, and still the colon will be cleansed. The main concept of fasting is pataya hitam patyam. You should see that the inner pathways has to be cleansed. That's the reason why fasting is being done in a dharmic way. That is what even the Dharma says. That is what even the Veda says. That is what even the superiors in the family or the purohitas, one who takes care of the puram, the well-wishers of the society say fasting is in this perspective that can be done judiciously provided under supervision and guidance.
Yeah, there is one more question. Can we consume lunch from a copper plate?
Can. All the more better in a silver plate. The best in a gold plate, not a golden plate. So first option is gold, second option is silver, third option is copper, fourth option is pure mud, porcelain plate. These 4 things are extremely, excellently good for health. You can, please.
Okay, thank you.
But every day, every time to be pretty well washed, so that there is no coating on the copper being residue. Every day, every time, the plate has to be washed well.
Right. What are the domestic foods for minimum health? What are the foods to be avoided for good health? I think this was
Very
answered.
good. Very good. That's a very valid question. See, yata brahmandaha tata pindandaha is what we say, sir. The fruit which is very cheap, which is abundantly available in the nearby footpath of your house, is the best fruit of the season that can be consumed to you. For example, in this particular season, there is a lot of watermelons, there's a lot of tarbooj, muskmelon, there's a lot of oranges. That is the best fruit for November. And there is a lot of gooseberries. This Deepavali time, we are having abundant quantities of gooseberries, and the same is being utilized for making our chawanprash as well, which is very cheap. Any fruit which is the cheapest of the rate of the year, abundantly available in the local market, that is the one to be consumed. And I will always advise you to have such fruits on a periodic way in a form of a rasayana. Rasasya ayanam is rasayanam. That one which enhances all the body fluids and increases your enthusiasm, vitality, vigor, energy, and the dhatus, which is rasarakta, mamsa, meda, asti, majja, shukra. All such dhatus can be promoted by eating such fruits. As a nitya rasayanam, fruits can be consumed. What is cheap, what is abundantly available, what is grown in a nearby area to you. Please don't eat Kashmir apple, which is waxed, which is being packed, processed for 45 days. Then you get it in Hyderabad and you eat it, which makes no sense. Eat tarbooj, which is 15-20 rupees a kilo. Eat a star fruit, which is 10-15 rupees a piece. Eat a watermelon, which is 15 rupees a kilo. Eat a chico or a sapota, which is 30 rupees a kg, which is very cheap, which is very small, micro, native in nature. Don't go for the hybrid one. And this season, you have abundant quantities of amrut, what you call as a peru chepakai in Telugu, gava in English. That is one of the best fruits what you can have in terms of vitamin C, in terms of micronutrients, in terms of good iron, what has been needed at this particular time. Again, the gooseberries, what we use in Chyawanprash, that is highest source of vitamin C, highest source of iron, which is lacking in all human bodies at this season. That's the reason why God has provided you with nallikai or gooseberries, Emlica frenchinalis, what we say in the English or Latin, that is to be used in abundance. Good pickles are to be used in this particular season. Definitely you can have. and local variety of papaya. Local variety of papaya is also a very good heat inductive in this cold season. So the seed variety of local papayas to be consumed now, sir.
Okay, thank you. Please suggest any short remedy as per Ayurveda which we can consume in the morning, empty stomach, which will help in reducing heart and cholesterol problems.
I will always advise all the patients to have one small breakfast, 11 o'clock, one small brunch, that is something in between breakfast and lunch. 1 to 2 o'clock, a small working lunch. It may be roti, it may be rice, it may be kanji, it may be any other things that they are accustomed to. Evening, I will always advise them to have some kosamris or sprouts or fruits on everyday basis, because energy levels will drain down by between 4 and 5. And I will always advise them to have a very small dinner 2 hours before going to bed, and fruits on a daily basis, one full fruit or roughly around 400 to 600 grams of fruits, especially the seed variety one. Papaya with seed, seed to be thrown and consumed. Pomegranate with seed along with the seed to be consumed. Guava with seed along with the seed to be consumed. So on and so forth. Seasonal fruits have to be taken in abundance. I will always advise not to have unconventional fruits in the wrong season. For example, now it's not the season for mangoes and jackfruits. If you're getting it in the market, paying it a high price and getting the same to the house as a part of fantasy and eating mangoes and jackfruits in India now is definitely not advisable. So such rare, unnatural, untimely, all the more important, so-called hybrid fruits are not to be consumed. Please go for natural, regularly grown, seasonal, cheapest, locally available fruits in abundance.
Yeah, the question was the Ayurvedic medicine in the morning on
There is
empty
no
stomach.
medicine can be prescribed over the Zoom without knowing the
Right,
cause.
right.
There is nothing called as a medicine. There is nothing called as a medicine. Ayurveda is all about diet, lifestyle, and medication at last. So my intention is to give you diet. My intention is to give you a lifestyle. And if need be, depending on the person's issues, medications can be advised later on.
Okay,
There
thank
is
you.
no generalized prescription for every individual at this given point of time.
Right. Please tell us the relevance of Chaturmasya Diksha with regard to health.
Precisely, Chaturmasya has got a very rigorous role to play towards the preventive health and also for the curative health. When it comes to Chaturmasya, there are a lot of things which has to be avoided. Some pulses are to be stopped, some fruits are to be stopped, which the regimen is being put in all the dharmic centers, what is being allowed, what is not being allowed. So that is basically to see that the proteins, carbohydrates, micro minerals to the entering into the body is being regulated. So what is wanted has to be taken. What is not needed to the body has to be avoided. And unfortunately, that has been sticked on to one particular Swamiji's or only people inside the matam to follow this. If Chaturmasam diet is being followed by every follower of that particular mata, I think definitely that's a very good move and that is appreciable move.
Okay, sir. Uh, can a diabetic eat banana occasionally?
Yes, as long as the sugars under control, banana has got a very good potentials of potassium and glucose. Definitely, bananas can be consumed. Second thing as to why banana can be consumed for a known diabetic is for the reason a chronic established diabetic person will be having constipation by and large. A banana has got a beautiful, smooth laxation effect. So they take one banana a day, provided the sugar is less than 180. One chukke banana, that is the dotted banana, conventional big banana, not the ilachi banana. The big banana, they take one in the night on a daily basis, should not create any problem, but rather it will create a very good laxation effect and see that all the bowels are being cleared.
Oh, thank you. Please suggest remedy for severe gastritis and acidity.
Jeera, dhania, jeera is jeerage, jeerkalu. Dhania is coriander seeds. Ajwan is om seeds. Ajwan seeds. These three things in equal quantity to be roasted in ghee to be boiled in all three put together 1 teaspoon, boiled in around 400 ml of water, reduced to around 100 ml without filtering. This particular kashayam is to be consumed morning, afternoon, and night.
Thank you, sir. Shall we have to take a gap for not to take Ayurvedic medicines in Ayurvedic treatment?
Absolutely not required, sir. I mean, do you take a gap between taking rice rasam and rice and sambar simultaneously in the meal? No. You have rice rasam at the initial level, immediately, simultaneously, post consumption of that, you have rice and sambar followed with rice and curds or rice and buttermilk. It's as simple as that. So, when the need be, when the situation demands, Ayurveda is for a holistic approach in a systemic way, not an asymptomatic way. If any Arogya Sadhaka, I don't call them as a patient, if any Arogya Sadhaka is in the protocol of consuming any other conventional medications, along with it, undoubtedly, unbiasedly, he can take Ayurveda medicines to whatever the prescribed duration he has been entitled to.
Okay, thank you, sir. Can a diabetic take seasonal fruits and honey and date fruits?
It depends on the level of diabetes, but he can take seasonal fruits. That is not a problem. Dates, occasionally, one date should not create any problem to him, sir. He can take. But if the sugars are not under control and consuming only dates is a multi-million-dollar question of problem. But occasionally taking fruit should not be of any problem.
Okay, thank you. Now the questions on the chat box are over.
Okay, now Vijay Kambataji.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you, sir, for such a wonderful lecture. Sir, I have two quick questions. One, on WhatsApp, I've got a message saying that eating bajra and jawar roti is much more beneficial than eating wheat roti. Is it true? Because
yes, 100% true. 100% true. Wheat is not at all. If you are you a South Indian by birth and by genetics?
No, I'm a Maharashtrian, sir, but my diet includes a lot of South Indian stuff because staying in this area for quite a long time.
Even in Maharashtra, there was no utility of gehu, that is called as wheat.
Yes.
So when it is not been genetically accepted by you, just because some restaurant is serving roti, kulcha, parotas, it doesn't mean that we have to take. That is point number one. Point number two, the why no is for the reason that there is a lot of glutens in the wheat. The glutens in wheat consumed on a longer basis will make you induce diabetes, or if you're already, X person, it will induce diabetes, or if a person is diabetic, it will make him diabetic forever, which cannot be controlled. For these two reasons, I will strongly advise him not to take glutens through wheat in the longer run.
So better to switch
Occasionally,
over to...
Yes. Better to switch over to same, nowadays, sajje, bajra, ragi, rice, red rice, black rice, the n number of variants that you can consume. Definitely, you can eat the native foods, what is available, what your region grows. The same thing comes to the oils also. A lot many people ask whether I can take sunflower oil or rice bran oil or pufa oil or that brand oil or this brand oil. The answer is very simple. Take either coconut oil, groundnut oil, or mustard oil, or ginger oil. These four things. Take the raw material to the mill. He will extract oil and give it to you. Of course, it is expensive. It is around 400 to 500 rupees per liter in Bangalore. I don't know what the costing is in the different parts of the country. But in Bangalore, coconut oil is roughly around 500 rupees related to me, and it will get spoiled in maximum 40 days. It will get a very raw. It will get rotten in 45 days with all fungus and things like that. So we will take coconut, get it oiled, and see that we will finish that oil in 45 days. I don't even refrigerate oils. So I see that I mill the oil for every month, what the ration I want, and I use it. And I don't even waste the exudate of the coconut. I make it as a dry cake and put it to my dogs to see that they are healthy. I don't even throw that.
Okay. Sir, I have a second question. See, I've been reading a lot of reports saying that those who had corona, there is a link which has been established or trying to be established between corona and heart disease.
Yes.
Is it true? And if that's
No,
the case,
it is not been established.
had
There is a study which has been done by ICMR of late, but ICMR has not been authentatively telling that COVID injections are the only cause. There is
Okay,
a
sir.
probability of the COVID injections to cause heart attacks as of now. I don't
Okay, sir.
deny, but if at all, if it is true, there is no other go that which has made us survive post-COVID is making us die now. So God has given us 3 to 4 years of extra life. We have to be thankful to Him. That is what is the perspective in which you have to see the same. There is a probability. I have seen n number of arthritis for 20 years not been active is been active now. Psoriasis, which was not been active, is active now. Migraine, which was not active, been active now. And all the more, women joint pains have tremendously been increased post vaccinations. And I also attribute it to vaccinations, but there is no concrete proof. So it is only an attribution, but still, if at all, if it is true, we have to thank God that there was no problem and loss of life during COVID, and we have experienced 4 years of life.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Last point, I really liked your point when you said pizza is delivered faster than the ambulance.
That's
I
that's
think it
virtually true.
summarized,
That's virtually true.
yeah. So nicely summarized and pointed out that situation we are facing today. So yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, Satyanarayana garu.
నమస్తే అండి, సుబ్రహ్మణ్యం మాట్లాడుతున్నాను. ఐఎమ్ 65 years ఏజ్ అండి.
Yeah, 65 young, sir, not aged.
Okay, I'm yeah. There is a say that whenever your mind asks something, you have to answer it immediately. Like when you are hungry, you have to eat. When you try to get sleep, you have to sleep. Something like that. How does this give the practice of eating at regular intervals or sleeping at a particular time and all?
There is also saying which says this Mano Nigraham has to be done, Andy. There is also a saying which strongly says whatever the mind asks should not be given. The moment I see an ocean, the ocean will call me for a ride. If I enter the ocean without any precautions and preparations, I will going to lose my life. So what is all the more important is the nature will give lot of attractions and call us for all the diversions. You know, if you go to a college, I will just remind of the college days of yours. If you are 65, maybe in your early 20s, you would have gone to your college, and the classmates of yours will have prompted you to bunk the class and go for a picnic or go for a zoo to see an animal. Had you been there, you would not have been here today. Someone might have called you to get converted yourself to a non-dharmic effect and see that the God is not existent, and eating all unhealthy, unwanted things are very ambitious, very lucrative, and very aesthetic to see. Had you been to all such ambitions and lucrative things, then most probably you would not have touched 65 years of healthy life. What I am anticipating that you are healthy as of now. Such things will not happen. So Mano Nigraham is the key to success. So this dhyana, which will lead to the samadhi avastha. Many people will think that samadhi is dying and going inside the grave. No. Samadhi is attaining tranquility, attaining what is being deserved to us is being got to us in a righteous manner. Samadhi is tranquility. Samadhi is fulfillment. Samadhi is contentment.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
And I am the last person to talk about dharma because I know least about dharma. All the stalwarts in this group are to enlighten me and please preach me, teach me, train me, tame me, and tune me as well, so that I am also a very interested student to know the roots in a very right way from the right mouth.
Well, what I presume is a person who has knowledge in any subject automatically will fall in the line of dharma only, whatever it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, I strongly.
Because a person like Abdul Kalam Garu, who is there as a
I will share an
Muslim
anecdote. When I had an opportunity to meet Abdul Kalam sir in early 2001, when I had got the opportunity, I asked him as to why his way of life was like this. He used to take his own plate. He used to get his food served by himself, and he used to wash the plate and keep in Rashtrapati Bhavan in the early days when I saw him, met him. He said this is Atma Dharma. The only word what he used, the great soul, what he used was Atma Dharma. And I always attribute that great soul as a Dharmatita person. He is not confining himself to any Dharma. He is above all Dharmas. And he led the life very transparently to see that many people from Rameshwaram to New Delhi and to the world above to get to know as to how simple he is, and he lived the way that he wanted to, and that is the real Dharma.
Yeah, good. But some actions may be against our
I think
Dharma.
we'll have to stop here. There are many other people to talk. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, Sachin Garu.
Sir, is it good to take water from with a silver vessel instead of copper vessel?
Yes, sir, can. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
I told you, gold, silver, copper, and mud, earth. All the four things are very good.
Thank you, sir. That's it.
Sir, good morning. We are consuming mixed flour, like, because wheat is not that good for the stomach. But recently, I came to know that mix atta, like every jowar, bajra, ragi, is very heavy on the stomach. Is that true?
Yes, certainly true. When you take mixed the flours in a disproportionate ratio, it is going to be heavy. The same with your Panchamratam. Any Panchamratam in any temple, for the makers, you go and ask, they will not mix milk, ghee, curds, everything in an equal ratio. Honey, they will not mix it in an equal ratio. They will always mix this in a disproportionate ratio. That is called as asamapramana, not samapramana. Asamapramana is what they say. So that living has been mixed in a disproportionate ratio. The millet flours, the whole grain flours are also to be mixed in a disproportionate ratio depending on the satmyata, that is the compatibility by the colon. Once this has been subjectively and objectively done, then the suitability is very much correct to the colon, or else it becomes definitely heavy.
So, sir, can you suggest any possible ratio in which we can consume?
It is always customized, madam. It is not a generalized ratio. It depends on the gender, it depends on the age, it depends on the pre-existing disease factors, it depends on the weight, it depends on the stress levels and the profession. Matlab, one who is working for 8 hours on a computer needs something different from one who is laboriously working for 8 hours on the a woodcutter. A goldsmith needs something different, a woodcutter needs something different, a painter needs something different, and a software engineer and a doctor needs something absolutely different. It's as simple as that.
Any one flour do you suggest with wheat which we can use, which is not very heavy?
I will suggest you not to have wheat at all. Any flour apart from wheat is good.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Kishore ji. Thank you so much for spending your time in spite of your personal emergencies. You have agreed and accepted our invitation to come and give a lecture to all of you. As you have done it for other courses, this is the 4th course you are teaching us. Thank you so much, and we look forward for your, as you said, you are always ready. We again inform you for the next course. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
We can now request Manisha ji to chant Prarthana, please.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधना सधना सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान्मा प्रमदः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु। स्वस्ति।
ధన్యవాదములండి మనీషా గారు. Thank you so much. Now let us request Challa Chittibabu garu to recite national anthem. All of you please stand up.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा। विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे। गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे
Jai Hind.
जय।
Okay. Thank you Challa Chittibabu garu. ధన్యవాదములండి.